done in the previous session. If somebody in the previous session we are working on I think wartime, right? And we have created a schema for that. If anybody remember which schema we are remembering, sorry, we are working on that. $60. Okay, so we will check it. We have another option like what? So we created this on 7.
Krishna, it is ZN60.
ZN60.
Yeah. You were trying
Well,
ZN60. That's why.
okay. M, right? Okay. N is for maybe payroll. So this thing we are running for a week. Okay, so if we remember on the 1st and again on the 6th, I think we entered some attendances. So finally what we are getting the output in the ZL table is the, what are the wartime hours he worked based on the standard, table which was given by SAP. You go for first. Here we are getting a time pair with M based on the table configuration which we have done for 555Z, right? So that is why we are getting the process type as M in the table. So we'll just go back to the same table. I think all the people have checked the table. Right, this is the table, and if you remember, our time evaluation grouping is 0, 1,
6 to
and
6.
yes, this is 6, right? So for this, what we are maintaining, if it is the time ID 0, 1, that is for out of his planned working time, we are calling it as M. So that is the reason in the log, when you determine the planned working hours within the schema, when you go for Ti and Tp function, this function will check the particular time pair with what can I say, the work schedule, and it will generate the wartime hours over here. Like it will over here. Basing on this M, we are going to calculate the overtime. Right? So this is the thing we have done as of now. Up to now. Let us say client have a requirement like, here we have 2 hours of overtime on the particular, day, that is 1st of April, say. Let us say employees work for 5 hours of overtime. Okay, let us say we will change the master data initially. This table you have to again, reset the thing, how it is working, what I explained to you. So what I am going to do here is, let us say we have a 2 hours of overtime. Here let us say client have a requirement, if the employee work for 2 hours of overtime, it will be evaluated with 100% of his daily rate. Let us say he is per day, let us say per month he is getting say 1000 rupees. We will divide it with number of days in the month. You will get a daily rate. Again, if you divide it with his work schedule hours, that is say 9 hours, you will get his hourly rate. Let us say example, if he work for 2 hours, he will get the actual hourly rate what he is going to earn. Let us say per hour, if you calculate our salary, let us say per hour, how much we are earning. Let us say we are getting some 30,000 per month. You will get 1000 rupees per day. If it is a fixed work, 30 days. Okay, so per hour, again the 1000, divided by say 8 hours or 9 hours. So that is the per hour rate for you. Okay, if the company will tell if employee works overtime for first 2 hours, you will give you 100% rate. Even if employee works more than that, say next hour should be paid with a 50% extra. Like if it is 100, you should pay 150% whatever employee is eligible for per hour rate. So let us say that is the example what we are going to work and how we are going to bifurcate that hours. First 2 hours and the next hours after 2 hours, how we have to capture, because we have to multiply with a different rate. I think everybody is clear what the previous class we have done. See, what here I am going to do is, I think for the better thing, I will remove 2002 attendance, or I can change number of hours again. See, up to 20, if you work, we are capturing 2 excess overtime hours, right? So what I will do is I am removing this attendance itself, because we are using 2011, that is time events, because it will be confusing part every time to understand. Okay, and moreover, if you are using clock in clock out many times, yes, overtime, Srikanth. See, if we are maintaining the clock in clock out integration, we don't maintain attendances again, apart from few things. In the clock in clock out itself we have. Yes, Srikanth. Hmm. Yes, yes. There is. There is a possibility. Means here also we are doing the same thing. See, your question I will, in the same class I can explain. Okay, you will get the answer before we complete the session. So here, what I am doing here is I am actually this is the integration path with your what you say, your biometric system, whatever it is. So what we will do, whatever the clock in clock out, we will maintain here, right? So then what we are capturing here is whatever the hours he worked, we are capturing here. So here what I am going to change is the clock out time. Clock out time I am going to put it as say 11 hours. So if we do the same, what will happen? If you run the time evaluation, on the 1st of April, if you see the output of 2011 info type with the function P 2011, you can see it's 18 hours. Okay, it's almost more than 9 hours. But what we are considering here, we have a tolerance time. As Srikanth asked, if employee works say before the work schedule or whatever, if client requires like that, let us say if it is a manufacturing industry, they can go at any time and they can work. So we can remove from the particular work schedule of the employees. If you remember tolerance, the function dptul, what it will do? It will remove the tolerance because we maintained a tolerance like before work schedule employee should not come. So what it will do? It will reduce the hours from 5 to I think it is 9 or 8:30 something that we maintain. We will see after the output. So what it is doing? It is removing the hours from 5 to 9. Srikanth, you got my point, I hope, right? So in the configuration, first you have to remove that. The tolerance time is not there for the particular, work schedule for workers. Let us say a group of workers, we have to consider his actual, working time. We have to consider. So in the tolerance time, you remove the time.
Krishna,
So
sorry, I
then,
couldn't understand this point, Krishna. This tolerance 9, why it is reducing to 14 hours?
in the daily work schedule, when you configure the thing, you have a tolerance time or there?
Yeah, tolerance time, yes, yes.
When I said an example earlier, we maintained a tolerance time for the particular work schedule. Because of that, it was reducing.
Okay.
So if as Srikanth required that I don't want the tolerance and all this stuff, employee if he worked more than the work schedule, it should be a overtime. So this is, I think, this is our work schedule. Here somewhere I maintained from 12 hours to 9:10, it's a tolerance time. Let us see if I remove this, right? If I execute again, what will happen on the 1st of April after the tolerance check? What I am telling, right? This is DPTOL, what I shown previously. It's 18. After that also it will be the same, right? If you want to consider all the 18 hours what you work. So it's simple and a bit complex, like when you maintaining multiple info types, then you have to write a PCR to capture the missing hours. Whatever the hours above this line, if you write a PCR, it will be okay. If you go here, say now the wartime hours became like the first hours from 5 to 9, we are taking it as wartime hours, right? And this as also wartime hours. Okay, but there will be a gap. Let us say if employee, went out at 1 o'clock and came back at 3 o'clock, so you have to reduce that. Okay, so then you can, catch. You can write a PCR that I will explain in the next session. So we will go for the straightforward things first to understand the straightforward logic. Then we will go first. So then we have n number of hours, I think, as overtime. If you go, for time waste step selection, you can see the ZML table with 4 and 5 hours. Total 9 hours is getting overtime, right? And if it is 9 hours, I think you will be confused. I will maintain the tolerance again. So it will be something like, first off, we are going to remove. If the employee comes before the time, we are not considering these 4 hours as tolerance time. So I am maintaining this again. And running the time evaluation. So what should happen here is the first 2 hours of the 5 hours we have so here is the time wastage we are generating, right? So what we are going to do first day, third. On the first day, where the time wastage, I explained what ZW2 that will generate time wastage basing on the fight and S table, checking if it is M or not, then it is generating the 5 hours straightforward to a wastage. Okay, which is one OVR. There are 2 things over here. So here itself, if you change, you can within the Python S, we have some conditions. First 2 hours should be pushed to a different wastage, like one OVR. Whatever the excess hours he worked, more than 2 hours, we can push it to a different wastage, say 2 OVR. Okay, and this wastage we will evaluate with 100% of his rate, and the next wastage we will move it as 150% of his actual wartime rate. You all understood, right? What is wartime rate? In companies, they have different scenarios to calculate the wartime rate. They will tell basic plus DA divided by his monthly working hours will be his per hour rate. So basing on that, we will evaluate in the payroll. That we are going to take in the payroll. So what we have to do, we have to pass the different hours to different wage days. Then in the payroll, we can club it as his overtime, payment. Right? So in the time evaluation, what we have to do is we have to bifurcate how many hours he worked for 100%, how many hours he worked for 150%, how many worked for 200%. Let us say 1 to, here we have 5 hours in now. What we have to do is first 2 hours we will push to a time tab called 1 OVR. Next 2 hours we will push to 2 OVR, which will be paid with 150 percentage, and the next 1 hour is left, that will be paid with 200%. Let us say company have a policy, first 2 hours it should be paid with the actual rate, then 50% extra it should get, then 200% whatever employee work more on that. So how we will do within the standard tables without writing any PCRs. So what Srikanth asked, it's a logical thing. There are situations to write PCR when the client asks to calculate the actual hours for the complete 24 hours what employee worked. Then you have to calculate the overtime. That is a separate scenario. You have to write some PCR. That also will come back to Srikanth's question. So ours is T510. If you remember, T510S is the table we have written a rule. Right? There is only one rule which we have written stating whenever the employee have processing time M, and if it is weekdays and the previous day will be holiday class, will be anything, and the current on the exact date it should be a working day, and subday we are not mentioning, and all these stuff we are not mentioning. Valuation class, DWS class, daytimes. Right? So let us say here I will put a mark like 2. So we are going to work on this now. Let us say what here I am mentioning is maximum 2 I am putting. So in this rule what I am mentioning is, let us say if all these conditions met, and here I am putting the conditions for the time. So maximum 2 hours only it should store in this particular time. Okay, after 2 hours we have to write another rule. Say example.
Krishna, I have one doubt.
Yep.
So right now we are checking based on the particular day, right? On a particular day, if an employee works more than 9 hours or 8 hours, whatever it is, so then we are we are writing our rules and making those configurations. But many a times it occurs that the company checks for the weekly or the monthly overtime. Let's say if I work for 10 hours for this day, and if I work for 7 hours the next day, so if it the total is 16 hours for 2 days, then I'm working like 1 hour extra. So in a particular week, if it is 40. Hello?
Can you see this screen 14 point?
Yeah, okay, got it.
It's the next one.
Okay, sure.
We are going by one,
Okay.
We are on the way. I will tell you all the real time, whatever I work. Right? Really you will get it. It's a good question actually. Many times they will catch overtime like that itself. Because today if we work for 2 hours, next day he didn't work at all. So we should not pay the overtime for the weekly wage earners especially. So many times if you go for workers, many of the companies will follow the same logic what you said. But we should know if company is using this. So that's what I am. From here we'll catch up the same thing again.
Okay, Krishna, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So here we'll catch maximum 2 hours. So we'll see after changing this what our time type will behave before writing another entry in this table. I'll keep this table like this, and I will run the time. If we are correct, I think it is better run for one day instead of running for the complete week. Because as Sagar said, we are not checking war time for the complete week. If we are checking for the complete week, then we have to run for entire week. We'll check the hours, how much you know. So now this is the rule which we changed, if you remember. So what we done here is the maximum. We have put 2. So only 2 hours will be generated, even the number is 5 hours, to a particular wage step called 1 OVR, which we mentioned earlier. Okay, and this wage step, what we will do in the payroll is, there are again the standard table. I think we'll complete this with the payroll also before completing, before skipping to another topic of war time. We will go to payroll and we will evaluate these things. Okay, it will be the complete, end-to-end scenario how we are going to evaluate these things. So let us say we are pushing it to 1 OVR, and this OVR, what we will do in payroll is we will multiply this with 100%, which is the standard tables without writing any PCRs first. Okay, then I will explain with the scenario where we have to write the PCRs. Right. So coming to the table. So what I am doing here is I am just copying this instead of entering all this stuff. The second rule I am going to write over here, rule sequence you can write. Right? Somewhere here, the same example explained. We will give 2 OVR, a different wage step. It's already there, or so you can text it. Just hold a minute, give me a break, 1 minute. Yeah, so we are copying a wage step to over here, and we can do it's an example that we are thinking, there is a requirement of the client like this. Say greater than three years. So I think you understood. If somebody have any doubts, what we are working on, so please let me know, because if you know the requirement of the client, then only you can understand what we are going to write something else. Right. So what I am telling you here is, if employee works for less than 2 hours, he will be paid with 100%. 2 hours to 3 hours, if you work, that will be paid with 150% of his actual per day rate, per hour rate. And if you work more than 3 hours, it will be paid with we can say text is 4 hours also. Let us say 2 to 4 hours. If he works more than that, they will pay double the salary, means double the rate what employee is eligible for. So that is the reason I have copied we'll see. We will copy these two waste tags. So what here, the copied one, what I am doing is, here I copied the same, the second waste tag, but here I am going to give it as, minimum 2 and maximum 4. If you display this, you have two rules. One is sequence 1 and sequence 2. The first rule, it will catch up with 0 to 2 hours. It will store here. Then the second rule, it will catch with 2 to 4 hours. Right? Quickly we will write the third rule. I think if you understand what I am writing, Ishan means, I think, Ishan, you have texted me that from Monday we'll start.
No. Sorry, say. I'm talking to Srikant. Okay. Sorry for that.
Okay. Then chill. I just now check your chart. Okay, no issue. So what we'll do here is we'll copy to third row, right? Sequence 3, and we will text it as after 4 hours, and we will give our third waste step which we copied with the same logic, but here what we will do is maximum we will delete and minimum we will put 4. Right? If you see, we have 3 rules. The third one which we have written, we are telling its minimum 4 hours should be there and maximum can be anything. Whatever the excess hours after 4, it will store in this particular time. So here we are going to generate 3 relevant time waste types from this table, putting some conditions. Apart from employee works on weekdays, weekends is the next topic. So as of now I am skipping that using these functionalities. So we'll see what it should do for us. So we know employee worked for 5 hours as per the TMT table. So if you see the process, we have 3 rules. The first rule will generate 2 hours as per the logic we have written in the 510S table. The second rule, it will generate another 2 hours, which is more than this condition 2 to 4. Okay, the third rule should generate only 1 hour, which is left, which employee work more than 4 hours. Right? So this is the standard functionality. Don't worry about what GWT function and all the code which was written. Only thing you have to remember, if you want to evaluate through 510S table, you have to know the functionality of 510S table and the parameter 1 and the parameter 3 with the process type. So how the process type is coming from the table called 555Z. So there is a straightforward integration between 555Z table where you are assigning the processing types over there, and the same processing types you are using with GWT function, and you are specifying your own processing type or G. Okay, let us say if you mention your own processing type over there, you can mention another line of GWT within your schema and you can execute the things. So now we are working on the standard things. So if you see here, we have 3 relevant wage types which are passing to ZML with the bifurcated like it's a big text. Shweta, okay. I will speak to you. I can't read, that much. We'll discuss just a minute. We are on the way. So we have 3, wage types, different wage types, which are in ZL table, which are going to payroll. In the payroll, we will evaluate this wage type with 100% of its rate. Let us say there is a fixed amount of, if we work overtime, let us say, for example, it's a, $100 for overtime per hour as per the company policy. The first hour will be multiplied, like first thing will be multiplied, 2 hours he worked, so he will get 200 rupees. Okay, the next 2 hours, say even if it is 100, the fixed one, it will multiply with 150%, so he will get 300. Per hour he will get 150. The next hours, whatever he worked, it will be multiplied with means double. Like per hour he will get, instead of 100, he will get 200. So that is the logic we will build in the time evaluation. We will pass it to the payroll. All these things what we evaluate as overtime, we can club it and we can generate it as a overtime. Else we can display the same wage types in the page. That depends on the client requirement. Yes, Shweta, tell me. It's a good question. You can speak it out.
Yeah, Krishna, actually my doubt was here we are evaluating above 2 hours at 150% and above 4 hours at 200%. If someone is working in night shift where he is crossing 24, that is, which is going to next day. So, will the system take care automatically or do we have to write any logic?
No. See, here, whatever you said is purely configuration related. See, we have a work schedule.
Yeah.
Okay. And in the work schedule, you have the second date required and all this stuff. Okay. If it is a late night shift and he is working overtime, the overtime will be captured on the current day or the next day. Okay, it will be done with, you can try the same logic.
See, because Krishna, for next day, we have put a tolerance time. So anything before is planned or system, we are not considering at all, right?
So you are telling if next day the tolerance time is on, like that you are
Yeah,
telling,
it will
right?
not. Yeah, yeah. If tolerance time is on, it will not consider at all, right?
You try the things directly.
Okay.
When you configure the things, you have on the, if you remember the what you say, the daily work schedule,
Yes, there is something like
you have the
previously.
break and all this stuff. You run the things. If really it is not working, let me know.
Okay.
And through PCRs, we can do anything, that is a separate thing. But
Okay.
as a standard functionality, what we can do, you can see.
Okay.
Okay. You try from
Krishna,
your end.
one more thing,
Yeah.
Krishna. Through PCR, if we have to write, so will you be showing us how to calculate overtime to PCR also?
Through
Because,
PCR, it's a very simplest way to write
okay. Is
whatever
it
we
the
are
same
calculating.
operations, whatever we have used? Is it the same operations we use or just different?
See here, what I am going to explain is first I will explain you the standard functionality,
Okay.
then we
Okay,
will
no
go
problem. If you are scheduled in future class, it's okay. Thank you.
because already I explained how we are going to calculate overtime, if you remember. In our previous class, I explained some PCR, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. You're right.
Okay, first we went to that itself actually. I think ZM60, right?
Yeah, we were pushing it to a time track and then reading and using the function HRS. Yes.
So remember somewhere I commented some PCRs, right? ZOV2, if you go through this,
Okay. Okay.
PCRs, already it is there.
Okay.
Okay, so it's, let us say, the same thing what we have done over here, three-way step.
Mm.
You build logic over here, no, in the third PCR,
Okay.
right? And what time after X hours, let us say, per week, if you work for, say, 40 hours, many times it will be like that, 40 hours, especially for workers. If they worked more than 40 hours for the week, those hours we will consider as overtime. Okay, instead of calculating as, daily. That is the next scenario we are going to work,
Okay.
right? So, before that, whatever I am explaining, if you really practice the things, definitely you will get my classes interesting from the, the next scenario you can, catch easily, right? And before that, what I will do is, whatever the time wastage we are evaluating, we go to payroll and we'll work. Or how you people require really this, no. If what I am telling here is, here we got some, time related wastage, right? So if we start payroll, means after some, couple of classes or I think it will take another more classes as per our schedule. So if I tell how these things are evaluating in payroll, may you people will remember what I said now, or you want me to complete this, what time how it is evaluating in payroll, then I will come back to time relevant things, then I will go back to payroll. Which is the comfortable one for you? Because I can explain in any kind of things. If somebody requests, if not, I will follow my own style, like completing the time, and then I will go back to the payroll. But it's time and payroll is not a independent modules as the market was separating the time consultant or a payroll consultant. Both are very closely integrated.
Hello,
So
Krishna.
yes,
Yeah,
Sagar.
as far as time and payroll is concerned, I am fine with any of the approach, whichever you are comfortable, and based on the other,
Okay.
I mean, other one who are comfortable. And talking about this, night shift, I was just thinking that should we create a new work schedule for the night shift and then, and
Yes.
something like that, because that is a
Yes.
kind of
We have to change.
standard configuration. Yeah, because now whatever work schedule it is like generic and it is like 9 to 6 or whatever it is.
Yes.
But if we are creating a new work schedule called as night shift, and then we can, we can alter the time, 7 o'clock in the night to 4 o'clock in the morning, something like that.
There
So
is
should
a
we?
check. There is a check where we can, capture those things.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you said that second day required or something. There is a field I
No, no.
also saw it.
Second day required is a separate one. Second day
Okay.
required, if you select it is whenever you are entering that, it will ask for, end date or something.
Hmm.
That is not the right one, but you know, in the work schedule itself, we will bifurcate the days.
Okay, okay, okay. I got it.
Okay. Yes.
So we will try this scenario and then we will let you know. And thanks, Shweta, for posting this question. It was a really good question.
Yes, and moreover, you have to check with the company's policies. Let us say if employee works from say night 22 hours to 6 o'clock in the next day, which means 2 days, right? So let us say if he comes early 8 o'clock and there is no tolerance, that is the 1 hour overtime. The next day is 1 hour. Again, he worked more than 1 hour, let us say 2 hours. So, how you have to calculate on the previous day, on current day? You know, there is a provision again. How to calculate that? Basing on that, we have another process to capture the overtime. I will explain those things also. No issues. But there should be a work schedule which is falling between 2 days. And if really client requires, if the work schedule will end at 11 o'clock, employee works for, 2 o'clock, that depends. Even, I have to check again what it will do. You check again and let me know what was happening. Definitely there will be a solution. So this is the thing, and in the next class, I think we'll have tomorrow. We have a session. Don't worry. Day after tomorrow, I think it is not almost not possible to take a class for me. In tomorrow class, what we will do is we will evaluate these things in payroll. How it is, these wastage are coming into payroll, and how I am going to evaluate this 2 with 100, this 2 with 150%, and this one is with 200%. So then it will be a clear idea. Means we can complete one, continuous scenario over here. If I skip here, if I take some couple of days gap, maybe the issue I have to repeat again. Right? So what we will do? Previously we will do a live run as of now, so that it will be stored in our, what you say, our cluster tables with the particular time tag. For a quick overview, we will check it is coming in the payroll or not. If it is coming in the payroll, whatever we have done, don't remember what I copied it. Just I want to show few of the things over here. This is is the payroll. I think everybody, many times they have gone through this. There is a PCR, there is a subschema called XT00, which is, not a country specific one generally. Okay, so where we have a impart function somewhere. Okay, if PDC is on, there is a if else condition over here. If PDC is on, we have a impart, that is import cluster called B2. So this cluster, what it will do is it will import these tables which are coming from time evaluation. So we have formed with a ZL table over here, which is the exact input we have run in time evaluation. So we got the data. So how we are going to evaluate these three different waste types in the payroll will be the topic in the next class. So up to here it is okay. Tomorrow I am not going to repeat time. I am going to start from payroll, that is ZL. Then we will go back for a different scenario in time with the same overtime, holidays and all this. Right? Any questions on this? Current day topic? Somebody?
Krishna, this is Tirumurugan.
Yes, Thiru, tell me.
I have a small doubt actually.
Yeah, tell me.
Can you go to this table 555Z?
Oh, obviously you have to go many times. Because it's a confusing table, obviously we should go. Yes.
You see, for example, we are maintaining data to calculate overtime or your scenario compensation of or something. And really, we need to, for example, if you want to maintain comp of means, I need to use this one, right? Pay type 3. So while entering the entry here, pay type 3, where it is mandatory to maintain pay type 1 or pay type 2, sorry, processing type 1 or processing type 2?
No, I think you are a bit confused again, if I am not wrong.
Because we are maintaining n number of IDs, process IDs here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or something. So without maintaining these entries, it will not allow to run, right?
You are talking about compensatory off.
Yeah, comp of, as well as this process ID also. See, while I am doing configuring for time evaluation, see, without this process IDs 2, 3, 4, 5, it is not allowing to run actually. It's throwing an error. It is all mandatory process type. Without this, we cannot run.
See, I think
okay,
you have.
If I want to evaluate, if I want to evaluate.
No. What I am telling is, you created your own PSG grouping first.
Yes.
So, if you created your own PSG grouping, all these are standard time types. Like, let us say, if you are aware of payroll.
Okay.
We have n number of slash waste types, right?
Okay.
That is secondary waste types.
Yes, right.
Okay, if you deleted all the waste types from the table, what will happen? Payroll won't run.
Definitely error, yeah.
Yes. So these are the standard tables. That is the reason. Even I am explaining a single example for you people. What I done is I copied the same thing here.
Okay. See, my question is, if I want to evaluate only overtime, I cannot maintain, only for processing type 3. I have to maintain processing type 1 as well as processing type 2 also, right? Is it mandatory? My question is silly.
No. It's not silly actually. So because when I, really telling, when I worked on time evaluation, initially trying to work on time evaluation, we have, faced n number of problems with this to understand, especially this table. What will happen if you remove all these tables also, it will work.
Yeah, that's my question.
Okay. But the only thing is you have to maintain all these entries. If you are instead of in the time evaluation, see in the configuration you have time evaluation grouping.
Mm-hmm.
There, if you are changing 01 to say
Okay.
99,
Okay.
okay, in this table you should have all these entries. Even if there is no time test, also it is okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But these entries should be there. 1, 2, 3. See, if you open this, you can understand what SAP standard will have. If there is an entry in OR10, it will capture 1 and it will check all the relevant, process type, time types. If there is nothing is there, it won't form anything. But the entry should be mandatory.
Okay.
Okay, fill time. If it is, if employee worked within the work scheduled time, the time entry will fill
Mm-hmm.
with identifier 2, which are opposite to these things. If it is from 2011 or absence or attendance.
Okay.
Okay. Likewise, you have to check, and not even this table. We have some other tables again. 555Y. Sorry, 555A. The time types table. Right? If you are changing the grouping, there are n number of standard SAP given time types which were assigned for only 01 grouping. So whenever you are creating your own 99 grouping, you have to select all the relevant SAP given standard time types and you have to copy that. This is the most biggest exercise when you are going to work on multiple things. We will create a BDC for this to copy and update this. Okay. Many times we have done. So whatever the SAP given standard time types, we have to copy to your own grouping. If any time type is not available, it will show many errors like there is no entry in 555Y, 555Z, 555A. Okay, so such kind of errors you will see n number of times. If you enter one by one, it will take 6 months for you to enter rectify each and every error. Right. That is the reason. See, that is a bit time taking. That is why what I am explaining here for you people is with the time grouping 01. Because for 01 everything will be there. Yeah. You try practicing that. Really, if you face any difficulty, you can share your system to me. And one weekend we will have a doubt session for all our batch in any of the weekend.
Okay, fine. Sure.
Okay.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Krishna, I have
Yes,
one
sir.
doubt, Krishna. See, for this employee, planned working time is 9 to 6. So, if I maintained absence input for this employee and maintain swipe in and out record from evening 7 to whatever time, will it consider as overtime?
If you are maintaining absence,
Yeah, for a particular day, on a working day.
Within his planned working time.
Yeah, I have maintained absence, so one day it will take. I'm not giving any time. Start date and end date as one day. And then if I maintain, and for example, some employee is sick, he has taken leave and for some...
Can you come back again? What is his work schedule you are telling?
Same
Working.
thing, whatever you are maintaining, 9 to 6.
Okay. So what you are going to maintain as absence?
For example, sick leave. So, and employee is asked to come because of some emergency, and he comes to office at.
Is it allowed to maintain absence and attendance in the same time? There is a time constraint, maybe, right?
No, but 2011, if there is a swiping, he swipes and we are working on positive time, right?
Either of the
Is that
things.
not allowed?
You are again confusing. That's what Shweta, what I said is there is no positive and negative time management.
No, I'm talking only about positive, Krishna.
Okay. If you are telling about positive time management, You have a clock in time at 9 hours and clock out time as said some 20 hours.
No, that's planned working time.
20 hours
Nine,
is the overtime, right?
no, 9 to 6 is planned working time, and I've taken sick leave, and I go on swiping at 8 o'clock night, and I swipe out at 12 o'clock. Will that time be considered as overtime? Is my question.
Night 10 o'clock you are telling. What I am telling now, see, if you are clocking it, you have taken a sick leave for a day, that is for your planned working hours, that is the day 9 o'clock to say 18 hours, right? That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
closed. Your sick leave no way integrated to your night 9 o'clock.
Okay,
Then you have to ask the client, if some employee came in between night 9 o'clock, what I have to do?
okay,
See, that user has to tell the requirement and you have to write the logic.
okay. If we have to consider that as overtime, then whatever we have done today it will be taken care, right?
Yes. See,
Okay,
whatever the requirement you have to write the logic, right? If there is a clock out time start from so and so time, we are taking as of now. It's a straightforward scenario. Let us say your clock starts from night 9 o'clock, you have to consider or not. If client is telling everything should be overtime, you don't need to do anything. Else, you can check the clock out time,
okay,
sorry, clock in time and clock out time, and you can write your own rule.
okay. We can also
That
check
depends.
if there is any absence record, right?
No, see, you have the data when the employee clock in and clock out. You can check all these stuff, first clock in and first clock out. That depends. See, I think you are, before our classes, you are thinking a more, big,
Okay, okay,
right? Let us continue. You will get the answers.
okay,
Right? Client will have a number of requirements, but it should be a genuine requirement. Whatever you ask, if the day was happened, SL sick leave we have taken, it is not for 24 hours, right? Sick leave, it is for 8 hours or 9
yes,
hours, whatever is planned working hours. Apart from that, he can't take any sick leave because there is no planned working time. After that, if he came, it's a, what they have to consider, you have to write the rule. It should be overtime or not, right?
okay.
So anything else from anybody? Tomorrow we will check, mainly on overtime things. Remy, I think you was a bit late today. You got the things what I explained. Anyhow, I will quickly revert tomorrow what we have done, in the current class to calculate the three different wage tags. Okay, and I will continue the class tomorrow. Okay, then that's all for the day from my side. So meet you tomorrow at 8:30 sharp. Thank you very much, everybody.